Everybody used to say that our temper Rey Dau was not that hard. Something that for most Monster Hunter players was not that big of a challenge. But for me, as a new player, it was actually pretty difficult and actually a good test of my abilities and everything I've learned. What a great way to start up my first competitive speedrun, to learn this boss that maybe is not the hardest thing ever, but it's still hard enough that it's actually a challenge. Surely I'll make a good time and succeed, right? Boy, was I wrong. Jesus. Well, in this video, we're gonna go through my entire journey of trying to destroy our temper Rey Dau and get a good kill at it. And every step from start till the end. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning. And let's get into it. The first thing we need to do in order to start was to check out the strategy for Rey Dau. What type of build should I go for? The first thing we knew was that the boss indeed has an ice elemental weakness, so we wanted to ideally go for an elemental weapon with an arcane weapon that does ice damage. We also know that the head is the most weak part of his body, so we wanted to attack the head the most. The wings were fine as well, but the head was the main point to go for. There's also flash spots that you can use on this enemy, and this is very important because whenever he flies, you can use the flash spot and just go at him with all of your power, getting your corrupted mantle ready to just do as much damage as you can before he comes back to it. And you can do this over and over again. So getting those flash spots in your bar was very, very important. The next thing was to check out the longsword builds that people use. I went in here for Finks because they're one of the best longsword players that I've seen. And, the day one that this boss came in, they got an absolutely great kill in 3 minutes. So looking at their gameplay was very important for me to understand how to play this fight. And I realized that the main thing that they were doing here was indeed to use EI Slash to prevent getting attacked by the enemy while at the same time doing a lot of damage to it. But honestly, looking at this gameplay, I was like, there's no way that I can actually achieve something like this. Like, this is absolute perfect gameplay. And they've been playing the game for a long time. I'm just a little noob. Can I really accomplish this? Especially in the limited amount of time that we have to actually get this fight and have this fight available? Maybe not. So I decided to go for something else. I decided that I could go for a different type of build that doesn't use EI Slash, is a bit more forgiving, and even if I don't make a time as close as Finks over here, I can at least say that I killed it in a different way and still have an interesting type of speedrun regardless. And that's how I made this build. That is mainly focused on Adrenaline Rush and evading the enemy instead of using EI Slash to evade the attacks. He has 5 points on Adrenaline Rush and he has Fulgur 2 sets, so whenever I actually dodge with my Foresight Slash, I don't lose my maximum might. I actually made a video already for this, you can check it in the description down below and how this works. But it does a lot of damage, maybe not so much as the build from Finks, but it's still very, very good. It's fun, and you can use your Foresight Slash to go... Oh god, I failed that one. Foresight Slash into Spirit Round Slash and Spinning Crimson Slash to do a lot of damage, very similar to the damage that you usually do on EI Slash, which is super good. And this was absolutely perfect. I could actually compete in some way, maybe not exactly, but give some sort of value to the community, even if I'm not getting a specific time like these guys that are way better than me doing. I can become the no EI Slash guy, the Foresight Slash guy, the 4 guy. Well, maybe not that. But there's only one thing left to go for. It's time I started grinding. The grinding session was good. I learned a lot on how to fight the boss and how to use Foresight Slash to move away from the attacks, not only the first one, but also the attacks that happen afterwards, the little lighting that you see after. Here, I know I'm gonna get attacked. I'm ready. I stop using my Spirit Blade and I press A to go to the left and then Foresight Slash. And this is actually backwards, as whenever you press A, go to the left, while using Foresight Slash, your character will move to the other side. Right here, I'm gonna do that. Boom. I'm gonna move out of the attack, all of the lightning, very far away from me, and I can just go into the next attack easily, hit it twice with no problems, and there you go, we got a little bit of a stun on the boss. Super perfect gameplay, and, well, I learned how to do this very perfectly. I realized there was one particular issue. When I had yellow gauge, that's the word, I was incapable of doing the Foresight Slash. Well, I guess you can do this attack, but this one has a way lower range, and you actually have to hit the next attack 100% to get the red gauge. Is super hard, and because you go back to the attack, right to the exact position where you started, as you can see right here, if you're evading an attack from Rey Dau, there will be a lightning effect on that part, and then that will interrupt you, making this very, very useless. I started thinking, what do I do about this kind of situation? Yeah, your Foresight Slash into Spirit Blade, the Spirit Random Slash and Crimson Slash gives you more gauge, but at some point it actually stops. So I'm gonna have to find a way to actually get myself to red gauge very easily. Well, of course, there's a few options we ended up going for. One was going for wounds. This will give me a new gauge, but these are a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes you can get them, but sometimes they might actually not be a wound. The other thing I could do is actually use a certain stun, like the pillars or maybe a flash spot or whatever, to get some yellow gauge and doing the entire Spirit Blade slash combo to get to the next red gauge. It takes a little bit of time, but if you know what the boss is doing, you can actually do this. But both of these things are a little bit inconsistent. So instead, I ended up going for something else. It was time to go back to EI Slash. I realized that just using EI Slash for one little thing, we could use this very well to get back into red gauge with almost no problem. You just recognize that I'm yellow gauge, go into my special sheath, and boom, get my red gauge instantly. I would have to obviously take a good amount of time because, of course, you know, I don't have any quick sheath here, but it is definitely doable as long as I know the actual way the boss behaves. And that is exactly how the next grind happened. Me trying to learn every one of the boss's attack just with EI Slash. I went in there, I practiced the boss many times, trying to get every one of the attacks into my muscle memory so I can always EI Slash it regardless of the situation. This also kind of helped me get a better sense of the actual fight anyways, and also helped me getting better at Foresight Slashing as well. So it was honestly pretty good. We had learned everything we needed to do in terms of skill. Well, at least to start actually grinding for the kill. Now we just needed a good plan. When to use our flash spots, when to go at the top and use the pillar to get a lot of damage into the boss, and what to do whenever we're starting the fight. Well, first of all, of course, we needed a Mega Demon Drug that we would get from before the actual fight. And the next thing was getting our Demon Powder just before we actually engaging with the boss. As you're gonna see here, I'm just gonna put it right there at the beginning, well, almost there at the end. At the beginning of the fight. Then, of course, we'll do our sneak attack into a Spirit Charge to get ourselves into white gauge. Then we'll do a little bit of attacks in order to get our Foresight Slash to get into yellow gauge, into my EI Slash to get red gauge, but sometimes that would not work just like that, and I would just do it for a Foresight Slash that is normal, right? Then, of course, I would just keep attacking the boss and wait for Agitator to actually happen. I wanted to actually not use my flash pods or Corrupted Mantle before getting Agitator, because that Agitator gives you a lot of damage and burst, right? A lot of crit chance. But in a lot of times I actually just forgot about that, sadly. But that was indeed the plan, to wait. And then after that, we wanted to get our pillar, your flash pods, your Corrupted Mantle, when we got Agitator, to just do as much damage as we actually can. In this case, we actually did. You can see that Agitator got in there perfectly just after the boss got into the pillar. So it actually was not that bad. And that was the plan. After that, we just had to do as much damage as we could, stun the boss as many times as we can, pop over the wounds whenever they actually come in here so we can stun the boss, and just try and get the kill without dying. And that's exactly what I did. I tried this over and over again to get the perfect kill. And actually, now you've been seeing and watching my best attempt. So I guess it's time to finish this. Here we go, guys. My best try on Archtemper Rey Dau as a newbie. After that feint, after that card, guys, I crumbled. This was actually the last day of Archtemper Rey Dau, and I was nervous. There was only a few hours left, and I knew that this might actually be the best try I actually would ever have, and I started playing horribly. I came in to Rey Dau, and I instantly died. Once, and then I did it once more. I lost. I lost my perfect run. It was super sad, and even though I tried after over and over again to get a kill that was close to this, well, even a try that was close to this, it just didn't happen. So I gave up. Or you think I'm gonna give up forever? Not a chance. This experience, honestly, it taught me a lot of this game. It was very, very fun, and I think I'm a way better player now. I'm super excited to just try again in the next boss, and I'm not gonna lie, I know I can do this. I've done it for other bosses, I've learned their patterns, and I just gonna have to do it perfectly next time with a bit more time. And with the amount of skills that I've actually acquired through this entire experience, I know that it'll be easier next time. And I'm super excited to see where I actually can get to. At the end of the day, the reason why this channel is called Darren's to Hero is because that's what I like doing. I like getting better at video games, going from zero to hero. And in this game, that is exactly what I want to do. I want to go from zero to hunter, from zero to speedrunner. So we're gonna continue, and I really hope that you guys enjoy this. Even though we didn't make it to the end, we didn't actually get the kill, I'm sure the next fight that we actually get, I'll be able to get it and get an actual good kill with a good time. Maybe not perfect, but at least one, you know? And I hope that this also inspires you to actually try as well. Even if you fail, guys, you learn anyways. You have fun anyways. And that's the important part. So subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you guys around. Love you all. Bye. Bye.